Hello everybody and welcome to another visually interesting games video. Today we are taking a look back at Need for Speed Underground 2. Arguably one of the best, if not the best, Need for Speed game that has ever been made. In my own opinion, the series has taken a huge decline since this title. Anyway, not too sure whereabouts I left off. I knew I had to restart again because, just like the good old PS2 days, my memory card corrupted and I lost all the data on it. Let's resume career and just see whereabouts I am. Okay, return to... actually, before we do that... that's a pretty hideous looking car at the moment. Let's see what else I've got available. Ford Focus, and that's all I've done. I've got 2 spaces where I can buy a new car. Oh, I forgot the triangle is back on the PS2 days, not circle like the PS3. Let's return to the explore mode and see what's happening. Bit of a weird place to have saved the game. Right, squares reverse, not L2. X is forward. And I've just thought, before we get into it, I'm going to turn off all the music so that I don't get any copyright restrictions on YouTube, because I know that the music in this game was just absolutely amazing, so it's probably copyrighted quite heavily on YouTube. Right, graphics are not as good as what I remembered, but they never are. The handling still feels as good as it always did. I used to love the handling on this game. I think I'm still pushing L2 to try and brake. That's not much good. Right, let's see if we can get ourselves into a race. Whereabouts are we? Right, we're up there. Drift race. They were always quite good down the mountain. Let's see if I still remember how to do it. Right, what R1 is the handbrake turn. That was actually something that I really enjoyed about this game, was the smoke from the tyres. I always thought it seemed... At the time I always thought it seemed quite realistic, and it still does a quite good job today. I think today the best smoke coming from tyres on a game would be Driver San Francisco. That is absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's just get to this location. I think for some reason it's taken us a very long way round instead of going back up there through the car park. I don't remember the GPS being as sort of bad as that though. I always thought it did actually genuinely take you the best route that it possibly could. I think there was a drift race back there that I hadn't unlocked yet. L1 to do your nitrous. If I remember rightly, this game, when you was going through... Jesus Christ, what's going on there? When you was going through the world, when you got up and down the hills or just go around the corner, it was always very difficult for you to see what was coming up around the corner because of the lighting effects in it. Get some more nitrous just by going past these people. Close encounters. These other races I remember used to be able to push the up button on the D-pad and start a race with them randomly. Sometimes they were quite easy to do. You had to just get them on the wrong side of the road and they'd bump into cars. Right then. Drift. Oh, I thought this was going to be drifting down a mountain, but let's go into it nonetheless. Okay, so here we are, revving up our cars. Quite a small crowd today, doing the same animations that they always do throughout every single race. Too slow, and just started. Right, let's see if I remember how to do this. If I remember rightly, even on the straights you could get some nice drifting going. Oops, that wasn't a good start. Right. Getting inside these bands gives you the orange bonus drift. Right, let's get going with this properly so I don't want to show myself up too much. Right then, around the corners. Trying to touch the blue checkered markers as much as possible because it gives you a slight bonus. Trying to get enough drifting up to get my multipliers up so I can get maximum points. Not doing too badly, although the game itself, Cliff, see on the right hand side, he's still catching me up quite quickly. This must be one of the harder ones. I think it was a sponsor drift, so it is a little bit more tricky than just the standard regular ones. I always found that these shorter cars were not as good for the drifting as the longer ones. I think it was a Nissan that you could start with, which was one of the longer ones, the pink Nissan at the very beginning. I used to always pick that one because I used to love the drifting, and I always found it easier to drift the longer ones than the short ones. But then again, the shorter ones I always found were better around the Street X races. I don't know if anyone else has sort of come across them kind of problems and stuff, but I remember when I was using a Nissan, I could never seem to complete a Street X race successfully. Right, now, absolutely destroying these people now. Started off a bit wrong, but just getting used to the controls again. Nowhere near as fluid, obviously, as the current PS3 days and Xbox 360, but definitely brilliant controls for the time that it was brought out. I'm not actually sure when this game was brought out. I'll just have to have a look at the box once this drift is over. See if I can get over 100,000. Yep, success. I should get some kind of exposure from my sponsor for that. Actually, that was something that I never was able to do. I was never able to actually properly finish across the line in time. Not that it really made a difference. Right, an easy win. Let's go through. Yeah, reputation points 300. That's the maximum you could ever get, I think. And return to explore mode. Yes, we'll save it. Memory card slot 1. Don't corrupt. Yes, I'll overwrite the save game data. Okay, so I was just checking up, and it looks like it was released in late 2004 for the PS2. Came out a little bit earlier, I think, for the PC. It was something I always wanted to get on PC and enter into sort of competitions with people and stuff, but I never got around to it, and you kind of need to have a will. Oh, there's some money. Bank reward of 100. They were always useful. Right, let's go into another race. That's a sprint behind me. We'll go into that one because it's the closest. I'm not sure why I'm around this area up here. I always used to hate this area. The map was quite extensive actually. I liked the way that you used to have to unlock certain sections as you went through. Haven't unlocked the bottom section as of yet. Right, let's get into this sprint game and see if this is an easy one or not. Right, nice little animation to start with. Once again, we've got a very small crowd doing similar animations to what they always were. Oh, burnout at the start, plus 151 drift. Right, that was unfortunate. And so was that. Right, let's use a bit of nitrous just to get ahead of these guys. Not the best place to use it, having to brake to get round the corner. Take the shortcut road down here. Shortcuts are always useful. This one seems a little bit stupid one to take, to be honest. It's a bit tight. I have to go a bit slower around that one. Right, this guy thinks he rules everyone and is overtaking. Oh god. As you can see, I'm not used to playing this game after such a long time. Let's just see if we can get around the rest of it in one piece. I don't know if you'll be able to see on the video, but you can see what I mean. When you're playing, it's very difficult to see exactly where the turns are, and sometimes cars are quite difficult to spot as well on the road. Oops, that wasn't great, was it? Bit of air time. Already 38% through. This guy's leading the pack quite well, although we're gaining on him. Definitely gaining on him now. I think he's got the same car as me actually. Right, let's get around this corner successfully. Yep. Right, let's get close to this car and get a bit more. Oh, no, the idea wasn't to hit it. Something that is visibly much better on any PS3 version is the sensitivity of the analog stick. With this one you've really got to whack it to the left and to the right to get any turning on the vehicle, and sometimes you think it can be turning too much. On the PS3 you just have to slightly jog the analog stick. Wow, okay. That was not good. Oh, actually, so the right analog stick pushing up and pulling back also allows you to accelerate and reverse. Interesting, I'm not sure I ever knew that. Right, we're going to have a tough time catching up to these guys now. A few seconds ahead. But we'll see if we can do it. I should be uploading a few more of these videos in the future, just taking a look back at this game, various other old games, just to see how they compare to today's ones and if they live up to the expectations of the old sort of. I always think looking back at the old games they always seemed better. Alright, it doesn't look like we're going to win this one actually. It's a bit disappointing, a bit of nitrous at the end, but no, unfortunately we haven't. We've come third position. The bank is not going to like that. Right, that was the first video taking a look back at Need for Speed Underground 2. Thank you for watching.